A lot of times with domestic dispute clients, they come to my office to hire me and they tell me how they got into a fight with their partner who then called the cops on them, but they didn't really want to file the charges. But they say the cops picked up the charges anyway. In this video, I clear up the misconception of how charges are filed. Also, if you stay to the end of the video, I'll tell you what I found out after 28 years of law practice to be the one ingredient that family violence cases cannot do without. Hello folks, I'm Andrew Williams, and this is another edition of the Fedora Lawyer. I'm a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 28 years of trial practice to draw from. On this channel, I share my years of experience with you to help you better understand the law. So the situation goes something like this. Couple gets into an argument. The argument escalates until one person ends up hitting the other. Then one of them calls the police, or oftentimes a concerned neighbor will call the police. When the police arrive, they first separate the two people involved. Then after doing a brief investigation, the police end up arresting one of them. So one of them is carted off to jail even though neither one of them wanted the charges to be filed in the first place. So they think the police or the state somehow picked up the charges after they dropped them. Now, after getting out of jail, when the client comes to my office to hire me, the victim usually comes along as well, and they claim that they didn't want to file charges in the first place, and now they want them dropped. They think that because neither of them wanted charges to be filed, that the charges should not have been filed. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. The police don't just pick up charges. When the police make a domestic disturbance call, they usually separate the two people involved. They determine if anyone needs any kind of medical attention. Then they try and figure out exactly what happened. And they do this by doing a cursory investigation. Once they complete their investigation, which usually amounts to interviewing the people involved, taking a few photos, and checking for signs of injury or struggle, the officer will then call the district attorney on duty and make a report. The officer gives the prosecutor the details of the investigation and what he found out. The prosecutor then decides if a crime has been committed. If the prosecutor, and only the prosecutor, thinks a person has broken the law, the prosecutor files charges against that person. If that happens, he tells the police officer on the scene to make an arrest. Once the prosecutor makes the decision to file the charges, the person is arrested and taken to jail. And this is regardless of what any other person wants or expects. If it appears a crime was committed, then charges are filed, and that's it. And neither party involved has the power to drop the charges once they're filed. So it's not as if the person dropped the charges and the state then picked them up anyway. The person never really had the authority to begin with to file the charges. Only the district attorney can do that. This scenario of one person wanting to drop the charges happens a lot in domestic violence cases, but it's simply not the way it works. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit better of how charges are filed. Now, if you stay to the end, here is my take on the one ingredient domestic violence cases almost always have, and that's alcohol. I have rarely, if ever, seen a domestic dispute escalate into violence without alcohol being somehow involved. Almost always one or both parties have been drinking. If the people had not been drinking, usually one or the other would come to his senses and walk away to cool off before it got violent. Alcohol brings out the devil in everyone in a family violence case. All right, well, that's all I have for now. If this video was helpful to you, hit the like button for me. If not, tell me that too, and I'll make whatever changes we need to make. If you like getting videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I plan to continue making videos on all sorts of legal topics, so if there's something you want me to cover, let me know in the comment section and I'll create a video for you. You can also visit my website at andrewwilliamslaw.com. For now, this is the Fedora Lawyer signing off.